Probably also wondering what I'm doing with a pile of fabric on my desk, and the answer is I've been making bags to house my junk journals in. So this was the first one that I made, and it's just done out of canvas, and you can see that it fits quite a chunky junk journal inside it, and I've just tied it up with some ribbon at the top of it, and that worked okay. But then I did version 2.0, which is this one here. And this one also fits this really big journal in it, and it's got a flap that comes over and then it ties up at the bottom here. I have a couple of issues to resolve first. These are just for me, so I will resolve them. I need to do something with the sides here because I ended up folding it over because it was kind of sticking up. But it's still really cute, I think. So I thought that I would try another one of those today. And I'll put this one aside and we'll do some design. Now I have a piece of canvas. I've got, as I've probably told you before, a fair bit of this canvas because I bought the whole roll at a discount, outlet, one of those outlets they have. And I have cut a piece of fabric. I just have to trim that up. So with this one, I'm just making it a bit straighter on this edge. And I'm seeing what else I've got to put on it. So I think that I need to make it, if you look at the actual journal, I've got another journal here. I need to make it because I'm going to sew it into on the sides here, so it's going to be fairly simple. I'm just trying to get that in shot. That's better. I think my camera's not high enough to get everything in, but I want to put this in here. So I think that this size that I've got is quite good because it will give me a fairly thick spine depending on what journal I put in it. And I also need to create a little edge on that to fold that over so that I can do a hem. That's the word I'm looking for. And then this piece will fold down. So I think this piece of canvas that I've cut is probably a good size. So what I want is some decoration on here. And then I've got a few things out, including this very cool fabric. And that's the coolest thing you've ever seen. It's actually a bunch of library cards and it's printed on fabric. And that's what I cut for the others, is I cut 2 library cards and put them on. So I thought that I would continue in that theme for my bag and cut another couple of these library cards out. So these are, I got this fabric from, I can't remember where I got it from, but I had to get it from overseas. So it was reasonably expensive by the time I paid the shipping, but I really wanted it, so I ended up buying it. And I think I bought a metre of it, which is a fair bit. I got a lot of library cards for that, and they're just adorable. They look like the real thing. In fact, they are the real thing. They've been scanned, obviously, and then just printed off or put onto the fabric and printed off. I also have some doily here. Should probably iron that. No, get the right side of it. And I have to remember when I'm doing this that I'm going to have seams on the side and then the hem at the top. So I don't want to go right up to the edges. I just want to put it on so that it's kind of where it needs to be. So this one here, I think that I will put this one down here if I can remember to get it on the right side. I probably should iron that, but never mind. Okay, so this is just an old doily that I've got from an op shop. Just chop that off. And I'm not really thinking too much about what I'm doing in terms of, I've just pulled a few things out and thrown them on the table because I figure that anything will look good. Oh, I have another library card here. I forgot that I'd already had a spare one left over. So I've actually got 3 now. I suppose I could use 3. I think 2's enough. And I've got some little bits of fabric as well. This is just leftover quilting fabric. I think if you just incorporate some other stuff. Also, I need to remember that I haven't got the bottom's going to be probably maybe 3 inches, so it doesn't matter if it wraps around the bottom, but I don't have to go too close to this edge because of that. And I just want to overlap things and see how we go once they get sewn down. And I also have some lace. So I've got this piece of lace here. Might tuck that under there and bring this down. It's just a matter of plonking some things down on here and making it look good at the same time. So if I put that there and that one under there, and then this little bit of green fabric down the bottom, might give it some colour. And what else have I got? I've got a little bit of here. I think that piece might be too dark. Yeah, that's not doing it for me. But this little piece here is all right. I might overlap those like that. What else have I got? I'll chop this bit of lace off. Get that bit of lace and throw it over there. And I've got another little bit of fabric on here. These are just offcuts from when I've been quilting, little, you know, bits of things I chop off the edges of the quilt. I quite like that, but I think I need something else under this blank spot here. It's that other little bit of, because I threw that away, didn't I? Ugh. I wonder if I can put this piece here like that and then put all these on top of it. Okay, I'm going to put both pieces of this on, but overlapping it here, and then this one under here like that, in that gap. And then I'll go back to what I had before, where I had this green piece and then a little bit of brown. And then this piece of brown here. I'm going to change my mind. I found another piece of lace. This is just a little bit of, you know, stuff you would applique on. You'd be amazed what I have sitting in my craft room, all these little bits and bobs. Now I'm going to put this lace down here instead, just at that point. And then I'll go back to what I had before. See if that looks a bit better. Put this under here. One here, and then this one numbers up the right way and under here. I think that looks better, I really do. So now I just have to pin this on. It's getting late in the day and quite dark, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I don't like to put the lights on, they just cast so many shadows. So I'm just pinning it on the top piece of the fabric, making sure that's all pinned on. And that it's overlapping so that when I get to the machine I can sew it correctly. I used my good machine when I made those other two, and I have forgotten how lovely my good machine is. I've been using the old machine to sew paper for months, and I haven't used my good machine to do any fabric sewing. Even little bits of fabric sewing I had to do because the old machine's sitting there and I didn't have to uncover it or anything. I've been using it, but gosh, it's so nice to be back on my big good machine. It's really lovely. Okay, I think that is okay, so I'll go and sew all this down. Okay, I've ended up having to turn the lights on. So this is where I'm up to so far. I have got the little bag front done, and I've got all of the pins out, so that's what it'll look like. I've still got to do the edges on the side, and now I'm just turning a hem. So I'm just turning a little hem over here, and I'll just sew that down, and then I'll put it right sides together and I shall sew the sides down. Now I want to make sure that's going to catch a little bit, but that's okay. So I'll put that down, and I also need to do something on the top. So this piece here, let me turn it inside out again in the right way so I can see what I'm doing. This piece here will come down like this, but the last time I found that those side flaps were too, like they were flapping all over the place, and I didn't really like that. So what I need to do this time is maybe I will fold it in like this, so I'll actually have it as a proper bag. Just put a pin in there and then in like this before I decorate it, and then I might just sew those things down, or I may put something on top of that, and this piece of the flap will be decorated, remembering that it's going to come in, another sort of inch because I've got to do the sides. So I might just think about that, and now I need to put something on here as well. I'm looking at what I can put on here, and maybe I'll just do what I did with the other bag. I'll need to create a little hem on here as well. So I'm just doing a turn over there, and this is just a bag, so it doesn't have to be measured, and well, I don't measure much anyway really. When I sew, I kind of eyeball most things like I do when I'm making junk journals. It just seems to work for me. And then that bit's going to go over there. And of course the other thing I need to do is get something to tie it up with, and I do have more of that ribbon that I used last time, which is a nice wide, really strong ribbon. But I want to put something on here, so maybe I'll just go with the lace again. In fact, if I turn this lace, I could put this lace all the way through, couldn't I? Not sure yet. I'll cut another piece of that lace off here so that that can go on the top there, and I'll sew that along because that's a nice easy remedy for what to put on this part of the bag. Okay, I've added that lace to the top now, and I think that looks quite cute. So all I will do now is finish the overlocking. I've left these because I'm not sure what I want to do with them. I'll wait till I've overlocked that edge, and I also will put another row of ribbon up here, and that's just caught up there, so it'll hide that if I just put, not this is too thick, but put another row of little thinner ribbon across there. And that's my bag. Let's just see if the junk journal will fit in it now. I think it's going to fit super easy. This is a big one. I'll have to, I've got another one that's even larger than that I will put in here. And I've enjoyed that very much. So I hope you liked coming along the journey with me on making a bag for junk journals, and I will be back next time. This is Deborah. Thanks for watching. Cheers.